flying so close to where we belong, and we're trying to go somewhere new. And I try to crack this iceberg open till it shatters through the ocean. I wanna make shockwaves. I wanna make shockwaves with you. Gonna move the ocean current till the waves flood what's been burning. I wanna make shockwaves. I wanna make shockwaves with you.
Hello everyone, welcome to the stream. Hopefully my audio is going in through. Welcome to the stream, welcome to the Wildcard stream. Today I'm going to be answering, so we don't have a podcast today. The podcast will continue next week because it's international break. So today I decided to probably do a video on the most hot topic right now, the hot topic on Twitter, FPL Twitter right now, and that's the wildcard. A lot of people are building a wildcard team. Let me just check my audio. Yep, it's all good. So a lot of people are building a wildcard team, and I'm gonna today show you various players that you can get in your FPL wildcard. So whether you're building a wildcard for because Ronaldo is here, and that's probably one of the main reasons for building a wildcard team as well, because you want to get Ronaldo or you want to get Lukaku, you want to get one of these two big hitters for your team, and that's probably why you might have activated your wildcard chip. You could have also activated your wildcard chip because if your team is not in a good state and you're not really happy with regards to your team. So we'll look at all of those options and I'll build a team based on what I have right now. I'm not going to play the wildcard chip, but I think my team value right now is a good example of where a lot of people's teams might be. And based on that, we'll try and build a squad for a wildcard. And also, we'll try and what was I going to do? I'll try and give you options of various players that you can use in your team for wildcard squad. So we'll give a couple different goalkeeper options, couple different defender options, and we'll try and build a squad for that. So if you're new, do hit the like button, do hit the subscribe button, because we're trying to get to 100 subscribers. So hit the subscribe button, and shout out to Dilshad, who was the last subscriber for the channel. So hit the subscribe button if you're new. It'll help the channel a lot. And yeah, if you have any questions with regards to a wildcard, put it in the comments below, because I will read the comments and I'll reply to the comments. If you have any questions with regards to, I'm not sure whether I should get this certain player in, what's your thoughts, I will reply to them. So let's get started immediately. Right now, what you're seeing on screen is my current team in terms of points. And I had 2 free transfers in the bank, which is why I probably don't need to wildcard, because I can bring Ronaldo in. I already made a transfer for Semedo, but let's actually get rid of all of these guys, right? And let's build a team that we would want as a wildcard team, right? So first, what I'll do is I'll give you a couple options in terms of, we'll look at position by position. So we'll start from goalkeeper to defender to mid to striker, and then I'll give you a few options as who might be really good fixtures. Who might be really good options, and then after that we'll add a squad and try and build a FPL wildcard squad. If you're in the comments, let me know. Put your questions in the comments as well if you're watching this live. So let's build a wildcard squad, right? So I usually like to have a look at what everyone is doing. Kind of gives you an idea. If you haven't done any research and you kind of want to know what's the best picks, it helps you shorten your picks a bit more easier. Okay, let's start with goalkeeper. Now, goalkeeper isn't the most easiest place to build a wildcard team, because there isn't any standout, I would say, options. We'll start with probably the team with probably the best defense over the next few fixtures. So let me actually, because I use my stats from Fantasy Football Scout and their members area. Link is in the description if you want to sign up for that. Let me get their season ticker, and then I can kind of tell you how we're going to pick this team. So I've got the season ticker up for, so ideally you want, if you're building a wildcard team, you want to build a squad that will last you until, so you can't use a wildcard again until the start of next year, right? So that's another 10 to 15 game weeks. So and you probably you can't build a wild card for 10 to 15 game weeks. So you want to build a wild card for at least 8 game weeks. A team that will be solid for at least those 8 game weeks, where only a minor few changes need to be made throughout the game weeks with like free transfers. But you need to build a team because you're wildcarding really early. You need to build a team that can be useful for at least 8 game weeks. So I've kind of taken the season ticker on Fantasy Football Scout, and I'm going to adjust it for like 8 game weeks, and I'm going to sort it by difficulty, and it comes up with Arsenal at top in terms of the overall team. But Arsenal still, this is where you put your eye test as well to play, and Arsenal don't look really great at the moment, so I probably won't still have them in a wildcard team as well, because we don't know what type of Arsenal is going to turn up. The defense doesn't look great, the attack doesn't look great. It's a whole bag of shambles right there. So let's focus on the next team, which is Wolves, right? So now Wolves are on second on the Fantasy Football Scout season ticker. Let me actually bring that for you guys over here so that you can kind of see. So there you go. That's the season ticker right there. Wolves are currently second on the Fantasy Football Scout season ticker. Arsenal are currently first. Chelsea next up. So this is, I have 8 game weeks right here. Chelsea, Leeds, Watford, Everton, Norwich. Right at the bottom is United. So you'll probably have United assets right now. You're probably looking to bring in Ronaldo as well, which means that's like the kind of player that you want to get out after a few game weeks as well. Or sometimes, depending, is Ronaldo. He could probably score within these fixtures as well. But there are better options. Like you could probably bring Ronaldo for now and get rid after game week 6, like after game week 6, or maybe after game week 7, even after Everton. You could probably switch it to a Lukaku when Chelsea's fixtures start to turn really great. So that's a few options. But we're going to target, let's say, the teams, especially for defensive wise. Okay, we want to let's start by defense, right? So right there, Wolves are on top for defense in the next 8. So you want to pick teams that have really good defenses. So Wolves, right? If you're not going to get for Wolves a defender, your option is their goalkeeper, Josesa, and he's 5 million. Obviously, Wolves haven't kept a clean sheet yet, but they've had some tough fixtures, I would say. All 3 have been tough fixtures. They managed to keep those tough fixtures to like only 1-0 scoreline, which is pretty good as well. And the next set, right? This is where I tell you, okay, we need to look at about 8 fixtures. In their next 8, right, which is 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay, the only tough team here is Everton, and given how Wolves have performed over the short sample data that we have in terms of the 3 game weeks, it's safe to say that Josesa is a really good option until game week 14, which is the 1st of December, and you can only use your wildcard probably you can use your wildcard on the 2nd of Jan, right? Your second wildcard. So this couple game weeks here, you'll probably use a free transfer to get your goalkeeper out and bring in another goalkeeper. But until at least the 1st of December, this guy is going to be pretty solid for your team. Even the Everton game, I think you would play him. So he is a really good option. I think he would be number 1 on my list in terms of goalkeeper options. So let's get him in there right now for now. Let's see if we can build a team. I've got a squad value, by the way. I've got a squad value of 100.5. It's a decent option. I think it kind of gives a good estimate for everyone. My second goalkeeper option, right, would be... Actually, let me get a stream up. Why not any City players should be capitalizing on their great form? Okay, Sam has asked a really good question in the chat. Why not any City players? So, okay, going back again to the season ticker, right? Because you want to build a wildcard team that will be lasting for a good amount of time. And I think City players is actually a really good idea to get in terms of not now itself, though. I think from game week 8 onwards, it's a decent option. So let's say if we change this up, right? We change this to add a few... How do I switch it up? Let's switch this from game week 8, right? Or like game week 7, because that's when another set of wildcard teams will appear. If you switch it from game week 7 odd, and you sort it by difficulty, you see West City. Okay, Man City right here. Burnley, Brighton, Crystal Palace. It's like 3 good fixtures right there. United, Everton, not the best. United, not the best. Everton, doable. West Ham, Aston Villa, really good fixtures. They have only Liverpool and United within the span of 8 game weeks. But right now, before that, right, because we're back again in game week 4, where is City? They've got Leicester, Chelsea, Liverpool. In their next 4, they have 3 kind of difficult teams. And I know a lot of people have transferred Ferran Torres, and I think Ferran Torres for the price is a good option, but do not expect Ferran Torres to get you double-digit returns against Leicester, Chelsea, or Liverpool. Leicester maybe, but I probably won't expect it. Southampton, he will probably get double-digit returns. So if you want, you can get Ferran Torres for game week 4 and game week 5. But Chelsea and Liverpool, I don't think you can expect as much from him. Which is why I would say City assets in terms of, let's say, from game week 8 onwards are a really good option. Hopefully that answers Sam's question and anyone else's question as well with regards to City assets. Their defensive options also look good, but it's very hard. You have to keep in mind that Champions League is also going to be starting soon. And Pep Roulette will come into play. So that's another problem as well that you need to consider. So now let's go back to goalkeepers, right? So Jose Sa, I've given you the reason as to why he's probably a really good option. Another player we'll be looking at in terms of defense would be... See, Chelsea, even though they have a good run, I think you have better options elsewhere in terms of 3 Chelsea assets instead of the goalkeeper. Also, you have to keep in mind that he could probably get rotated with Kepa. That's another problem you don't want to have. Watford are next and Brighton are next. So Watford and Brighton, people will already be having these keepers. You'll be having Bachmann in terms of Watford. Decent set of fixtures at least till the end of October. After that, it gets a bit hard. And then you got... Where's that? Points. Where did my Brighton keeper go? Sanchez, there we go. Sanchez also has a mixed bag of fixtures, I would say. City, Liverpool, Leicester, not the best, but until at least November, again 1st of December, is a decent option. But out of the 3 goalkeepers, so those are my 2 options for you, but 3 options, but out of the 3 goalkeepers, Jose Sa has the best possible fixtures. Not a guaranteed start is a concern, especially with Sam says not a guaranteed start is a concern, especially with KDB back. Exactly. That is a good point because once KDB is back, we won't know whether Ferran Torres will start every single game or who's going to play that false 9 position, whether KDB will slot in there or whether Gabriel Jesus will go back into there and KDB takes the right wing slot. Those are a couple quick questions that we have to answer. Benjamin Grave has asked a couple of questions. He's asked Ronaldo versus Lukaku, and then he's asked Torres versus Jota. Okay, here's the thing. Ronaldo versus Lukaku. I think in the immediate future, probably Ronaldo over Lukaku, and that's mainly because Chelsea have Tottenham and City in their next 3, whereas United have Newcastle, West Ham, and Aston Villa, all 3 who are capable of leaking goals. So that's why I would go Ronaldo over Lukaku, but I think after that you can easily swap to Lukaku, who will have Southampton, Brentford, Norwich, Newcastle, Burnley. So you can go from Ronaldo to Lukaku at game week 7. And then Torres versus Diego Jota. Now, there are rumors, I don't know if it's confirmed yet, that Firmino is possibly out. If Firmino is out, then Diego Jota is a really good option. That's why I'll probably prefer Diego Jota at the moment compared to Ferran Torres, especially for the reasons I stated before to Sam's question as well, in terms of Torres could be a rotation risk, and also their fixtures aren't great, the upcoming set of fixtures. But Liverpool's upcoming set of fixtures, at least for the near time, in Leeds, Crystal Palace, and Brentford, are really good options. So you could probably have Jota for now in Leeds, Crystal Palace, Brentford. You could swap him out. You could probably swap him out after the Watford game, I guess. I don't know. Like, Jota is someone you could possibly keep as well. But I think Ferran Torres, once you have to probably wait again and see once KDB is back and where Ferran Torres plays. That's something that needs to be considered because we don't know once KDB is back whether he'll be in the striker position in that false 9 or whether he'll be in the right wing position. Ronaldo, Jota and Lukaku from Game Week 7. Yeah, Johnson has stated that. Yep, that's correct. And also, I think I got a subscriber recently. Vinny Jr., thank you for subscribing to the channel. All right, so let's go back to the wildcard team, right? So I said Jose Sa. I'm putting Sanchez in there as well. Those are my 3 keepers. Jose Sa, Sanchez, and Bachmann. Now, it's still pretty new. In terms of, we have only 3 game weeks of data. And this could change over the next few game weeks because we don't know too much with goalkeepers as well still. There hasn't been a standout option as well in terms of goalkeepers, so we're going off very limited data. So those are my options. In terms of defense, all right, let's go to defense. Now, I think Trent is probably someone you want to have in your defense. Now, the problem with having Trent is that, let's say you wanted to have 3 premium midfielders, it becomes really hard. You can build, I mean, it's possible. Like you could probably have Salah, Lukaku, and Ronaldo with Trent as well, but it kind of like impacts the rest of your squad. But for now, I think what we'll do is we'll have Trent in the team because I think Trent is a really good option. We'll have Trent for now. And we'll try and build a team. And then we'll try and build a team without Trent in it and see whether we can get another premium midfielder and how the squad looks like. But Trent is a really good option. Liverpool's fixtures, like I told you, are pretty decent. And we saw against Chelsea as well, Trent was a good option going forward. He delivered that ball to Jordan Henderson where Jordan Henderson missed it. If Jordan Henderson scored that, you're getting an assist against Chelsea. So regardless of fixtures, Trent is a really good option as an FPL asset. And recently, he's also been appearing a bit more centrally as well for Liverpool. So he's been going centrally as well, which is pretty interesting because now you're getting him like similar to how Cancelo was last season, where Cancelo will also come inwards. Trent also seems to be doing that. So you might want to keep an eye out for that. I think it's a really good option to have. Apart from Trent, right? Another good option now, Wolves were on top of the season ticker. And there's the question between Semedo and Marcel on who you would go for. Right now, I would take Semedo because there are question marks over Marcel with regards to Ed Nouri could possibly be back and he could probably take that role. We don't know. So because of that, I think Semedo is a better option. On a wildcard, you want confirmed starts. You don't want a bench or you don't want a player. I know Marcel is cheaper, but you don't want a player who's probably having that risk because you don't want to, in a couple game weeks time, have to take him off for a hit or even for a transfer when you could have easily avoided that. So Semedo is a really good option for me. And then another one would be, let's go back. Let's get rid of Wolves. Go back to defenders. Now, Spurs have been good in terms of the defensive fixtures, but in the recent defensive performances, but they have a pretty rough upcoming games. Like they have Chelsea and West Ham and United. Those 3 I think can score against them. Arsenal, I don't know what Arsenal is going to turn up, but the other 3 teams I think can score. Obviously, Tanganga has been the kind of like recent transfers in mostly, but they've got a new player called they signed a new player, Emerson Royal, so we don't know what he's going to be like in terms of an FPL asset. He's priced at 5 million. Probably someone to keep an eye out for the moment. Don't get him in yet, but keep an eye out for him. Now I need a third defender, right? So I know this guy, it's a bit controversial because he did get the red card and he's currently suspended. But if he wasn't suspended, I was fortunate to have come across your channel. Excellent content. Thank you, Sam. Thank you for the feedback. That really helps a lot. Thank you. So Rhys James, he did get a red card. Yes. He's probably going to be out until 19th September. So he's going to miss the Aston Villa game, which is unfortunate. Tottenham, Man City also going to miss. you don't need to get him in yet, but as soon as the Man City game is done, I would bring Reece James in along with like the likes of Lukaku. So he's someone to keep an eye out on. But I think if you're doing a wildcard, you probably want to have a Chelsea defender in there, and because Chelsea seem fixture proof as well for some reason, and they're playing Aston Villa as well, who are not going to have a strong team with the likes of Martinez, Buendia, all of them missing out due to international break. I mean, because they'll be going for international games and they'll have to come back and quarantine. So I think you could get Rudiger. He's at 5.5. He is an option. Are there any defenders that I can get to you guys? I think Rudiger is probably the best option right now in terms of assured starts. If Reece James was there, I would have loved to have Reece James. But then it also probably makes no sense to get a player in for one game. We cannot use him. Let's put Reece James in there for now. Probably not the best idea. But yeah. Why not pick De Gea over Sa? Great form with clean sheet possibilities. Good question. Now, De Gea, I think, is a good option, but I don't like United's upcoming fixtures after a certain point. And we still don't know what Manchester United's, in terms of defense, how strong they're going to be yet. They looked a bit leaky. I was watching the Wolves game, right? Every time Traore went forward, I was like, oh my God, they're going to score. So it doesn't fill me with confidence. And look at that fixtures, right? Like those fixtures are not something you probably want to have in terms of a goalkeeper. Because even if United's defense is strong, it's gonna concede somewhere in one of those games. Whereas Wolves, on the other hand, I think they have a much better set of fixtures upcoming. And that's why I've gone Josesa over De Gea. But De Gea could be an option, but just I wouldn't take him in. Also, the fact that I don't know what Dean Henderson's return date is like at the moment. I think De Gea is the number one at United for now. But if Dean Henderson is back and with Champions League fixtures upcoming, we'll see with regards to whether will there be a bit of rotation on that side. We'll see. Because De Gea is also very similar to the Mendy Kepa situation at Chelsea, where you've got good goalkeepers and they could possibly get rotated. Don't really want that on wildcard situation. Okay, so I've added Reece James. Probably I wouldn't add Reece James. Let's just add a defender that's probably going to play. So let's go. Where is Rudiger? Let's add Rudiger for now. Next up, right? So we've got two more spots. Where's West Ham on this? They've got a pretty tough set of fixtures. Brighton and Watford. Who else is that? Chelsea. Okay, so now Brighton, Duffy is probably an option for 4.1. I don't think you can go wrong. There is the questions with regards to Livramento from Southampton at 4 million. But then again, Southampton don't have the best set of fixtures in the next 4 at least. And you're probably going to concede because of that. At least until game week 8, Southampton don't have good fixtures. So I probably won't be starting someone like Livramento even if I had him. But if you just want to get like a 4 million player just for the sake of filling that spot, I think Livramento is a decent shout. So let's get him in. Let's transfer this to transfers in, because you need to build this thing as well. Where is he? Okay, Livramento is right now at 4.1. You could probably get Brandon Williams. I think Brandon Williams I saw the Norwich highlights. He had a pretty horrible first game. Will he keep his place? I am not really sure. We'll have to wait and see with regards to that. But for now, for 4 million, is there anyone else that we can probably add? Probably not, right? Let's put Livramento, because he has that out of position possibility as well, because he could play right wing, and that is indeed more exciting than Brandon Williams. So I put Livramento in there. So that's my defense that I'll most likely have. I would love to have Reece James over Rudiger right here, but because Reece James has a red card for now, probably won't have him, but I would love Rich James instead of Rudiger for the defend options. Now, are there anyone we missed? Okay, so Janssen seems to be on top, but that's because Brentford, they kept good set of clean sheets, but their upcoming fixtures aren't that great. So I don't know if people are just getting that based on their recent form and not looking ahead to the upcoming fixtures, but I wouldn't recommend. Varane is another option, right? Again, Varane is like the De Gea option. Would you want a Varane in your team over Luke Shaw? Probably not, but he did have a strong performance in the last game week. And I think at least United's next 4 fixtures seem solid. So what you could probably do is, okay, here's the thing. I know this is not Varane, but because of Ronaldo's recent appearance, and basically having Ronaldo means you kind of have the best header of world football in that team, right? And you just need to get a fullback who's going to be put in this crosses. And Luke Shaw, he takes set pieces. He shares set pieces with Bruno Fernandes. He takes corners. You've got Cristiano Ronaldo in the box. I like the appeal of having Luke Shaw still in your wildcard team. And then obviously he can be replaced immediately for maybe in game week 7. You can replace him for Rich James. Luka Digne. Oh yes, good mention. I completely forgot about that. Luka Digne is actually a good shout. What are Everton's fixtures? Yes, Luka Digne is actually a good shout. Actually, instead of Shaw, Luka Digne is probably a much better shout long term, better fixtures. So I'll have Luka Digne in there. That's a good shot. Well done, Sam. Luka Digne is actually a good shout. So I'll have Luka Digne over Shaw and Rudiger. Although I think Shaw is a good option. If you have Shaw, keep Shaw. Don't need to transfer him out. If you don't have him, then obviously you can have Luka Digne. He's 5.4 as well, cheaper than Shaw. But the fact that Shaw has Cristiano Ronaldo in that box does boost his appeal for me, at least for the moment. But Luka Digne is a good option. And now let's go into... So we've talked a couple of defenders already. The ones who are not in here, Rich James and Luke Shaw, are good options that I would say that you keep your eye out on. And then obviously Spurs, not the best options at the moment, but something to keep an eye out on in terms of the new signing Emerson Royal. Okay, now let's go to midfield, right? This is where the question is. This is where everyone's burning question is. Now, Bruno Fernandes has been the massive transfer out to try and get Cristiano Ronaldo in, but his teammate, Mason Greenwood, is a massive transfer in. And I still think Mason Greenwood has a lot to offer, even with the appearance of Cristiano Ronaldo in that team. Now, Mason Greenwood has been on pretty good form, scoring in each and every game that recently. And I think he'll continue that form at least until game week 7. He could be a good shout. After that, this set of fixtures from game week 8 to game week 13, you could probably transfer him out easily with a transfer for someone else, at least. But for the next 4 game weeks, I think he's a good shout. If he continues to maintain his form, I don't see Solskjaer dropping him. And we know he can play right wing as well. And Sancho can play left wing, which means it's not too much of an issue. At the moment, he won't have too much of an issue in terms of rotation or anything like that. But yeah, Mason Greenwood, really good option. If you have him, keep him. If you don't have him, you don't necessarily have to bring him in. You can bring in the other the other player of that same caliber in Diego Jota. Now, Diego Jota, right? There have been rumors that Firmino is probably going to be out for a long time. If that's the case, Diego Jota is going to be playing that striker role. And that's really appealing given Liverpool's set of fixtures. City, United, West Ham, probably the hardest. Fair enough. But apart from that, I mean, I have Pogba right from start, great points delivered. Still pondering, should I sell him to get someone else? See, Paul Pogba is actually a bit of a... If United want to do well, they need to play Pogba in a more advanced role. And we saw him play in an advanced role for the first 2 game weeks, and he got the returns, right? And now I have had in previous seasons when Pogba first came to the league and he had Zlatan in front of him as well. I did have Pogba, and he was delivering the assist and everything, and he also had those chances created. It's just that Zlatan didn't finish them. Right now, I'll probably hold Pogba for 1 more week against Newcastle. He has been pushed back last game. Yes, that's a good point. So that's the thing. I'm not sure where he's going to kind of play in. He was pushed back last game for at least 60 minutes. That last 30 minutes odd, he was a bit more advanced. He was like 10 yards forward. He was getting more involved in the gameplay. We saw the foul or not foul on Ruben Neves. So he was a bit more forward in those last 30 minutes. And I think Solskjaer figured out a way to try and get him pushed further forward. And you want Paul Pogba pushed further forward. So if you have him, keep him for now. I don't mind keeping him, at least, especially for the Newcastle game, right? For the Newcastle game, at least I would probably keep him because Newcastle are a leaky defense and are there to be got at. And if he's feeding balls into Cristiano Ronaldo, I'm sure Cristiano Ronaldo is going to finish them. So at least for 1 more game, I think you could probably keep him, see what happens, and then probably decide after that. If you're playing a wild card, and I guess if you're playing a wild card, do you want to keep him or not? It's a big question. If you were to choose between Pogba and Greenwood, I would pick Greenwood over Pogba because I feel like Greenwood, even if he doesn't start, when he comes off the bench, he has a really good option in terms of scoring. Like, he always seems threatening and he kind of has the option to he could get you a goal. But if you already have Pogba and if you have value on Pogba, I would keep him for now. Jota shall witness a price rise within a week, I am almost certain. That could actually happen. So if you check Fantasy Football Fix. Okay, hold on. We are slightly deviating from here, but that's fine. So Jota, right, is Diego Jota. Here we go. So Jota at the moment, his price hasn't gone up, but I think his price went up recently, didn't it? Okay, it did. Diego Jota, within the next week, I think he will get a price rise, especially if we get more confirmation of Firmino's injury and whether he's confirmed to be out for a long time, then I think he'll see a price rise. For now, he should be fine, but yeah, we'll see. That's something to keep an eye out on. But right now, let's go back. Okay, so midfield. Another one you want in there is Salah. I think out of the premium players, I think Salah is a must-have at the moment. At least he's on penalties. He's got a good set of fixtures in there. So I think if you were to choose 2 premium players, Salah is probably one of the options right now for me. The only thing with Salah is when Firmino is not on the pitch, in the last couple of games, I've noticed that Salah hasn't performed as great with Firmino not there. But I still probably would have Salah in for the moment. Okay, other midfield options. Now, Benrahma is a really good option. West Ham have a decent set of fixtures, not the best I would say. But someone who's caught my eye is, and especially for value, is Demarai Gray. He's playing on that, left wing, right wing position, further advanced. I probably should have got him instead of Mbeumo that I had. And he's been really good on the eye test as well. And his last 2 returns have kind of proved it as well. Everton have a really good set of fixtures as well going forward. So I'm really happy with Demarai Gray as an option. I think he's someone to get in. Especially for 5.6, you can't go wrong. And you're probably going to be looking for at least one player in that price range. And I think Demarai Gray is a really good option for that. And then the other one I would probably suggest. Now, there have been a few rumors with regards to Rafinha going for international break for Brazil. So he could probably miss out game week 4, which is not a problem because it's Liverpool. But after game week 4, you could probably bring him in. He's got a really good set of fixtures, which I like. So he is another option to look in. We won't have him in this current wildcard squad, but he is probably someone to bring in. Apart from him, here's another person I'm looking. Now, if you can't get Lukaku, right? You don't have the budget to get Lukaku. And this is probably both short-sighted and long-sighted thinking. Aston Villa are going to be without Emi Martinez and a couple other players. And they're not that great right now in terms of defense as well. I really like Mason Mount. I think he's currently on my thinking as well in terms of getting in. He seems a bit more nailed on in terms of starts. I do like their options. Obviously, Tottenham and Man City, not the easiest games. Tottenham, however, I don't think it's a 4. I think Tottenham's a 3. The way Tottenham have looked shaky at the back. So I think Chelsea can get at them. And especially seeing how Chelsea played against Liverpool, I think Chelsea can get at Tottenham. It's just Man City, which is the hard game. But apart from that, I do like Chelsea's fixtures. And if you can't get Lukaku and you still want that Chelsea cover against Aston Villa, Mason Mount is a really good option. And I like Mason Mount as an option as well. Sam says, there's a new signing by West Ham. Forgot his name. In spite of good performance, the position of Benrahma is at a risk. Yes, that's why I don't have Benrahma right now in the team. Because of that possibility. Where is this new guy? This guy, right? Vlasic. Nikola Vlasic. He played in Syria, I believe, before. He is a decent player as well. So something to keep an eye out on where exactly he's going to play for West Ham. I'm not sure. We'll have to see whether Benrahma gets taken out or does Bowen get impacted by that. That's something probably to keep an eye out on. Where exactly this guy will play. Also, another thing to keep an eye out on is West Ham's Europa League fixtures will start very soon. And then that involves a lot of rotation because West Ham will, I think West Ham will rotate. They'll want to try and win the Europa League. So they will probably go strong on that. And that could see a lot of rotation happening as well. So that's why I don't have Benrahma right in now. But these are the players I would like at the moment for your team. Now, let's go to the forward line. Now, the reasons you'll probably be doing a wild card would be to get this guy, Cristiano Ronaldo, in. I think you get Cristiano Ronaldo in until Game Week 7. And in Game Week 7, you switch him for Lukaku, who has a much set of better fixtures upcoming. I think that's the plan. So I have Ronaldo right here. I think he's a really good option. To complement him now, Vlasic, Sufal, Suchek are all former teammates, if I'm not mistaken. Could be, because I think Vlasic played in the Prem before as well, which it showed on his history. So could be, I'm not really sure. Okay, now 2 more strikers. I have 11.7. Someone who's really interested is, 1 second. Jimenez. Now, I don't know if I'll have the money to do it. No, I don't have the money to do it. Jimenez is a really good option. I am interested, not going to lie. A really good set of fixtures. It's just that I still haven't seen whether So Jimenez has the most chances created for forwards. So far, out of the 3 game weeks, he's created 10 chances. He is an option as well. Dennis is also another option for 5.2 million. I don't think it's a bad shout. Watford, pretty decent set of fixtures as well. Actually, and like for 5.2, it's pretty decent shout. Another one would be Timo Pukki. Oops, don't add. Timo Pukki is also a decent option. Not the best. Okay, Arsenal could be. You could probably get him in. The next set of fixtures look really good for Timo Pukki. He's on penalties as well. Saint Maximum, Sam mentions. Saint Maximum could be. The problem is United, Leeds, Wolves, Tottenham, not the best set of fixtures compared to some of the others. Another one I would like is Antonio. I think Antonio is a really good option right now. He's on hot form. Usually Antonio, when fit, is a good shout. The problem is I can't fit Antonio in, even with the squad value that I owned, because I have to get 4 million then. And this is where it becomes a problem for me. So I can't see, at least I can't fit Antonio, but maybe other people might be able to fit Antonio. And then you probably put a 4.5 million forward in there. So I have Femi, but like if people had 0.5 extra, I don't know if people will have 0.5 extra as well. That's where I guess you lose that goalkeeper, and you bring in another 4 point. You bring in another. Sorry, actually, you can make that 0.5 because you probably might not use. There we go. Let's just put in any specific one. I'm just going to put in Ward for now because you're not going to have Josisa and you're not going to have a 4.5 goalkeeper there. So Josisa are probably a good option to get in there. Antonio is a must sacrifice in Lukaku. Your thoughts? Wait, can you word that a bit better? As in, like, is Antonio a must own? Or do you sacrifice Antonio to get Lukaku in? Which exact format are you talking about? So right now, this will be my wildcard squad. Right here, this is what I'll probably aim for. I think it's really good. I think it's a really good option as well. Something to consider. Obviously, you don't want Obafemi because he is no longer in the Prem. But Scarlett is not a bad option. So yeah, sacrifice Lukaku. Yeah. I think you probably want to have Antonio when he's in hot form. Usually look at that, right? Double-digit figures in 3 game weeks with Southampton, Brentford, Leeds probably a bit harder. And West Ham are probably very attacking. The United game is a bit of a hard one. But Antonio's form is on red hot that I can't see why you wouldn't go without him. So this will be my wildcard squad. Now, hopefully, let me know for people watching in the comments as well. On later as well when it's not live. Let me know what you guys think about it. This is probably the wildcard squad I'll go in with, but there are other forwards as well that I'm kind of interested in, who are probably going to be good options. Now, you could probably not have Ronaldo, and you could have Lukaku, but you can bring in Lukaku in Game Week 7 is my thought. So I think Ronaldo is a much better option right now. A few other strikers to look out for would be Calvert-Lewin if you have the budget. Honestly, I would go for Bamford. Yes, Bamford is also someone I was going to talk about. Calvert-Lewin has looked good. I don't know what's his injury like. I don't know if the injury is just so that he can he doesn't go on international duty. He recovers from his injury and comes back again and plays for Everton in Game Week 4. And I love Everton's fixtures in here. Calvert-Lewin, before Ronaldo was going to come in the Prem, Calvert-Lewin was someone I was looking at in terms of getting in. At least for the short run before Chelsea's fixtures turn, and then you can probably look into others. But Calvert-Lewin is a good option. Now, Sam's mentioned Bamford as well. And like we told, with Rafinha, after the Liverpool game, the next set of fixtures, look at this. This is what you kind of want, right? And now we were talking about trying to look for 8 fixtures, at least for the next 6 game weeks, next 7 games. Okay, Liverpool probably not the best, but after that 6 other game weeks, Bamford has really good fixtures, and you could get a price rise as well from this, a couple price rise, and then maybe you can probably sell him from game week 11 for someone else, but I don't think you'll want to sell him because Leicester and Tottenham are also not really not really a 4 in terms of their defense. I'd rate both of those teams at like a 3, and I think Leeds can get at those 2 teams. So until at least game week 15, and Bamford is a good option. The only thing I want to see from Bamford is a bit more form in terms of Leeds. So we'll see what the arrival of Dan James also does to Bamford, whether it creates more chances for him or not. But Bamford is another good option. Great set of fixtures. Better set of fixtures in the long run compared to Antonio as well. But Antonio is just on hot form that I probably would want him. Anyone else that I'm missing? Ings, get him out. As an Ings owner, I myself was lucky to get those 2 goals. But no. So don't have him. So we've spoken about strikers, right? Dennis, good option. Dennis, Bamford, Jimenez. Now Jimenez is someone else. Great set of fixtures. If you don't want to get Antonio, I think Jimenez, if he gets Jimenez is the thing, right? I need to see him on form. Oba is very expensive, should be around 7. Arsenal has decent fixtures as well. Yeah, Arsenal have decent fixtures. Arsenal just haven't got into form or any sort of consistency or rhythm at the moment. So I won't be touching Arsenal until I see that eye test of like, you can see that they're getting into some kind of rhythm. Until then, they're a bit of a shambles at the moment. So probably won't touch as an FPL asset. Because I think there are better options elsewhere. Jimenez is a good option. Like I told you, he had the most chances created for forwards. He's someone I'll look at. And now, here's the thing, right? Now, I told you guys we'll do a squad with Trent and without Trent. Now, if you don't want Trent and you want to put someone else in there, you could probably then boost your forward line. Like, you could probably bring in a Jimenez, and then you can bring in a 4.6 defender right here. And then, let's say, who can you bring in? You could bring in, so Eric Dyer is an option. Tanganga, I don't know whether his position is guaranteed. You could actually bring in a 4 million. Oh, I wouldn't bring in a 4 million defender. I would try to bring in a 4.5. I have Luke Ayling, but see, I have Luke Ayling, and I'm hoping Leeds do fix their fixtures because it could be a good set of fixtures from here for Luke Ayling. And if Leeds can fix that defense, Luke Ayling is actually a pretty decent shout to have in there. You could probably have Connor Cody, but trust me, you're not going to, don't think about attacking returns from Connor Cody. Unless you want to go double Wolves defense, don't expect any attacking returns from Connor Cody. Let me actually sort this according to price. Who else is there? Thoughts on whether Daniel James being a regular starter for Leeds. So Dams, Sam. He's not going to start over Rafinha, Dan James. But on that left-hand side, who plays for Leeds on the left-hand side? Is it Harrison? No, right? They play like a 4-1-4-1 kind of formation, Leeds. So I don't know. I think he'll be a good option. I don't think... I'll probably wait. If you want to get Dan James in your FPL team, I probably won't do that immediately. He's still not like an FPL asset. I would prefer the likes of Rafinha over Dan James. So I'm going to have Luke Ayling in here. When you remove Trent, and when you remove Trent, you can now bring in like the likes of Jimenez, which makes the team look much better. Rodrigo, okay. I think you wait and see. At least for the first 2 or 3 game weeks, wait and see. 2 Sams in here, interesting. Wait and see for the first couple game weeks to see what Dan James does, how he's integrated into that Leeds team. I still prefer the likes of Rafinha, Bamford over him. So yeah. Thoughts on what else? I have Lloris as my goalkeeper. Great returns, but the upcoming fixtures aren't very promising. Yes, I would say that Spurs were kind of a bit lucky also to keep some of the clean sheets they did. I feel like Spurs are just a matter of like in time. If they come up against a good attack, which is why like Chelsea, West Ham United, Manchester United, like a good attack will probably lose Lloris's clean sheets. And I think Josisa is a really good option. Especially you save 0.6 as well in terms of cost. Reguilon is a good option. Where Spurs. Reguilon actually 5.1, not a bad option. I don't know who you're gonna put him in for though. I like Lukaku. I like Semedo as options. You could probably have Reguilon in there if you want to. But at the moment I prefer again, Reguilon is like very similar to Lloris, right? You aren't probably going to get clean sheets in some of these games. Especially Chelsea, West Ham and United. Both those 3 games you probably are not getting clean sheets. Arsenal, you might get a clean sheet. But yeah, he could be a good option. I guess it depends on your team as well. If you can rotate him with another player, he could be a good option. The problem is, do you have the defense to rotate? That's the thing. Does he rotate with Duffy? Yeah, he could probably rotate with Duffy. So what's Spurs' tough game set? They have game week 9, game week 10, and 5 and 6, right? Duffy's got 6 covered, not 9 and 10. Livramento has 9 and 10 covered. So you could probably actually rotate with those two just for those specific game weeks. But yeah, right now, Alien. So this is the team without Trent in. But I'd get Trent. I don't know why people wouldn't want to have Trent. He's a really good option as a FPL asset. And then obviously you would put, where's a 4.5 player? Scarlett in there. Okay. Now let's go to some questions. Sa as a differential. Sa as a differential is actually not a bad option. 6 million as well. And having Sa as the differential, you could probably then kind of like not have to have this 7.5 midfield options, which will then kind of like give you enough value maybe to like try and boost your defense. So what you could do is you could not have Mason Mount, right? You could probably have. So here's the thing. Sa is one player as a differential, but he'll be a short-term differential if it was anything. Wolves, Norwich, Newcastle, Leeds. Wolves, Norwich, Newcastle actually. The rest are probably not the best in terms of fixtures. But another guy who is topping the XG charts but just not converting them is Traore, and I can't believe we haven't spoken about him yet. If this guy... Okay, now Traore has created the most chances out of all midfielders, as 9 chances created. If he could kind of like, if his teammates could finish, or if he could get a bit more like in terms of assist or goals, he's a good option. Because what he does is he kind of enables you to be able to get a better team. So what you could do is you could have Traore in there. You could remove Scarlett. You could probably have Dennis in there as an option. It looks a bit more better. What you could do is you could also remove Trent, and then you can kind of go, okay, you could go a bit more stronger in the forward line. So you could go, can you go Calvert-Lewin? Yeah, see, you could go Calvert-Lewin, Antonio, and Ronaldo, and then you could go in defense. You can go, who can we get in? 5.3 million. Damn it, I'm a bit short. If people had Calvert-Lewin before, they wouldn't have had this issue. I guess you can have Matip. 5 million Liverpool. You get that Liverpool coverage as well. Not the best option, but I think, I guess this is where Reguilon comes into play. That's a good option. See, now that looks much better. The fact that you're able to have that Traore option there, or even Sa, or any 6 million midfielder who's a really good possible option. I guess this is where Benrahma also comes in, right? Because Benrahma also you can probably put in there. People might have Benrahma, and it looks so much more better. Considering the team you have right now, what's the formation you're planning to go for next week? So looking at this team, I will be playing. Is it this specific team, or do we want to revert back to with Trent in the team? If it was this specific team, I would go 3-4-3 with Yes, I would go 3-4-3 with Reguilon, Luca Digne, Nelson Semedo, Diego Jota, Salah, Greenwood, and Watford, and then who is the other one? Burnley. Okay, and so Diego Jota, Salah, Greenwood, Demarai Gray. Now this is the one with Trent. Okay, and then Ronaldo, Calvert-Lewin, Antonio. Okay, let's get the one with Trent. So Trent in there, and then I'm just gonna put Obafemi in here for the moment. But yeah, remove, and who was here? This was Mason Mount. Give me a second. Where did it go? Chelsea, Mason Mount. Okay, this would be a 3-5-2 because you have that 4.5 million forward line there, and it makes it easy. So this will be a 3-5-2 in this specific case. It'll be a straight 3-5-2. And I think the wildcard squad you'll probably end up building will probably take you to a 3-5-2. But I think having 3 forwards by the looks of it, upcoming is a really good option. Sam Salvador says Alonso. Alonso comes with his set of rotation risk, which I don't like. And he's pretty expensive as well. Who's in defense? Trent, Luca Digne, and Nelson Semedo. Because Nelson Semedo is playing Watford, Luca Digne is playing Burnley, and Trent will be playing Leeds. I know Leeds is more harder fixture, but I mean, it's still Trent Alexander-Arnold, and I'll probably have him in. Even though Duffy's playing Brentford and Livramento is playing West. Oh no, Livramento is out. So it's between Duffy and Trent. I'd go with Trent, obviously. So that's the defense. That's what I would do. Alonso as an option. Now, Alonso, if this guy was guaranteed more starts, then he's an FPL asset. The problem is I don't know about Chelsea's in terms of starts. Will he get? Here's the thing, right? You got Chilwell right there on the bench sitting, and Champions League fixtures are upcoming. This is where the question arises: does Chilwell start to get rotated with Alonso? If you're wildcarding, I probably don't. I probably don't kind of like want someone in there who is an risk. I'd say so much. Trust in Semedo. Well, not really trust in Semedo. It's more kind of like trust in the Wolves team, because the Wolves team have looked good in terms of their defense. And here's the thing, right? This is something we're going to be discussing in next week's podcast. I've kind of like prepped it and all. Next week's podcast, you kind of see like why Wolves are kind of an option in terms of defense, because they're really good in terms of the stats. They are one of the best defenses so far in the first 3 game weeks, even though they haven't kept a clean sheet. And that's why I guess it's not trust in Semedo, but it's just the trust in the Wolves defense. That I'm hoping that Watford, Brentford, Southampton, Newcastle is a good set of fixtures. Yeah. That's the whole reason. But apart from that, yeah, Duffy is a good option. Livramento. I mean, Duffy, if you don't start Semedo, you'll probably start Duffy. The thing is, Brentford have Ivan Toney, and maybe they could probably score against Brighton, is my kind of thinking. Watford, on the other hand, do have like Sa and... actually, the Watford game is going to be really good because it's like you have Sa, you have Dennis, you have Watford have players who can score. It's a coin flip, basically. It's a coin flip between Semedo and Duffy, to be honest. But yeah. I mean, if you have Semedo and Duffy gets a clean sheet and Semedo doesn't, it's a bit unlucky, but what to do? That's the game of FPL. So yeah, so that's my wildcard team. This will be my wildcard team if I was doing one. And then obviously, after game week 7, Ronaldo swaps to Lukaku, which kind of actually gives you more money in the bank as well. And with that more money in the bank, you can kind of boost that midfield option as well. So yeah, this is with a 5 million goalkeeper as well. So most people will probably not have a 5 million goalkeeper and they'll be going in with like a 4.5 million goalkeeper, which gives you more options in midfield as well in terms of trying to get better players. Or even it lets you go from an Antonio to a Calvert-Lewin if you had a 4.5 million goalkeeper. But Antonio is on hot form that I probably want to have Antonio for the moment. So yeah, that's the team. I'll probably end it here. We've gone on for... How long have we gone on for? We've gone on for like an hour. So I think that's a pretty good session. So hit the subscribe button, guys, if you guys are new. Thank you all for watching. Thanks to the 2 Sams also for being in here, and for the others who also entered the chat previously. Hit the subscribe button, everyone. Hit the like button, and let me know down in the comments who you're looking to bring in. Have you hit the wildcard? If so, why? My friend has Chilwell right from the start when he was 6. Now he's 5.8 if I recall correctly. Yeah, unlucky. And this is why I don't want Alonso as well, because there is that rotation risk. So yeah. Anyways, we're going to end it here. Thank you all for attending the stream. Keep your eyes out for our podcast that will come out next week. But yeah, thank you all. It's my first season on FPL. Great content, man. Love the inside. Looking forward to watch more content going ahead. Thank you, Sam. I hope you have a good FPL season this season. And obviously, we will be delivering more content to you guys to try and help you get better ranks and enjoy the game as well. Jimenez is going to turn up big over the next few game weeks, hopefully. All right, so see you all. Have a good night and hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, and I'll see you